are not my dad. Just because you gave me your ATM card. Paying for my education and basic needs doesn't give you the right to tell me how to spend what you gave me. It's automatically mine. So stop trying to be controlling, bro.
When Taye got home that Friday night, he sat at his kitchen table and opened his laptop. He felt calm, like someone who had finally decided to stop trying to fix something that was completely broken. First, he logged into his bank account and canceled Amara's emergency credit card. With a few clicks, the card was blocked and removed from his account. Next, he canceled the automatic transfer of 20,000 naira that was supposed to go to Amara's account the following week. But Taye realized that the money was only part of what he provided for Amara. Over the years, he had quietly taken care of many other expenses that she probably didn't even think about. Her phone was on his family plan. Her car insurance was under his policy because it was cheaper that way. He paid for her internet, her Netflix account, her Spotify music, and many other small things that made her life comfortable. She said, "I'm not her father, and it's her money," Taye said to himself. Let's see how independent she really is. One by one, he removed Amara from all these services. He scheduled her phone line to be disconnected in 48 hours. He changed all the passwords for the streaming services. He sent an email to remove her from his car insurance policy. Taye had already paid for Amara's school fees and dormitory for the semester, so those couldn't be changed immediately. But everything else, all the small comforts that made her life easy, would be gone by Monday. When he was finished, Taye felt strangely peaceful. For 3 years, he had been trying to teach Amara about gratitude and responsibility through his words. Now, he would let life teach her these lessons through experience. Around midnight, his phone buzzed with a text message from Amara. "Card declined at restaurant. Is there a problem with the system?" Taye typed back, "No problem on my end. Good night." He turned off his phone and went to bed. Saturday morning came with sunshine streaming through his windows. For the first time in months, Taye woke up feeling relaxed. He made himself a nice breakfast and sat on his balcony, reading a book he had bought but never had time to read. At 10 a.m., his phone started ringing. It was Amara calling. He let it ring. She called again and again. On the 8th call, he finally answered. "Brother Taye, what did you do to my card?" Amara's voice was panicked. "Good morning to you too, sister. This isn't funny. I tried to buy coffee and my card was declined. I tried to buy lunch and it was declined again. Fix it right now." "There's nothing to fix. My card is working perfectly fine." "Your card? That's my card." "Actually, it was my card that I let you use. But since you said it was your money, I thought you should use your own card." There was silence on the other end of the phone. You canceled my card?" "I canceled my card that you were using. If you want to buy things, you should use your own money." "What money? You know I don't have a job." "Then maybe it's time to get one. You're 21 years old and very smart. I'm sure you can find work." "This is crazy. You can't just cut me off like this." "I'm not cutting you off. I'm giving you the independence you asked for. Isn't this what you wanted?" Amara hung up the phone. For the next few hours, Taye's phone was full of angry text messages from Amara. Then the messages stopped. He guessed that she had discovered her phone service had been cut off too. That evening, Taye received an email from Amara using the university's computer lab. "Brother, I'm sorry for what I said yesterday. I was angry and didn't mean it. Please turn my card back on. I promise I'll be more careful with spending." But Taye didn't reply. One apology after years of taking his sacrifices for granted was not enough. Amara needed to truly understand what it meant to be independent. The old people say, the child who refuses to listen to words will learn from consequences. By Sunday evening, the reality of her situation began to hit Amara like a thunderstorm. Without her phone, she had to borrow her roommate's phone to call her friends. Without money, she couldn't join them for their usual expensive outings. "Just ask your brother to turn your card back on," Jide suggested when she explained her situation. "Tell him you're sorry." "I already did," Amara said. "He's not responding to my emails." "Then go to his house," Kemi said. "He can't ignore you if you're standing right in front of him." But Amara felt too ashamed to face Taye. She had never realized how many things he paid for until they were all gone. She couldn't even afford to take a bus to his house because she had no money in her personal account. For the first time in 3 years, Amara had to eat only the basic meals provided by her dormitory meal plan. She couldn't buy snacks, coffee, or treats. She couldn't go out with friends. She had to wear her old clothes because she couldn't afford new ones. Monday morning brought another shock. When she woke up and tried to check her social media, she discovered that the internet in her room had been cut off too. She had to use the university's computer lab to send another email to Taye. "Brother, please answer me. I understand you're angry, but this is going too far. I need my phone and internet for school. How am I supposed to do my assignments and research?" Still no reply from Taye. By Wednesday, Amara was desperate. She had to walk everywhere because she couldn't afford bus fare. Her friends were getting tired of always paying for her when they went out. She felt embarrassed and alone. She decided to swallow her pride and go to Taye's office. When she arrived at the telecommunications company where Taye worked, the security guard almost didn't let her in because she looked so different. Tired, stressed, and wearing old clothes instead of her usual expensive outfits. "I'm here to see Taye Adebayo," she told the receptionist. "I'm his sister." When Taye came down to meet her in the lobby, Amara was shocked by how calm and peaceful he looked. She had expected him to be angry or upset, but instead he seemed relaxed and well-rested. "Hello, Amara," he said politely. "What brings you here?" "Brother, we need to talk, please." "Of course, but I only have a few minutes. I have a meeting soon." They sat in the lobby, and Amara felt tears starting to form in her eyes. "Brother, I'm sorry. I was wrong to speak to you that way. I was wrong to spend so much money without thinking about your hard work. Please forgive me." Taye listened quietly. "I've learned my lesson," Amara continued. "I understand now how difficult it is to live without money. Please turn my card back on and I promise I'll be more responsible." "Amara," Taye said gently, "do you know why I helped you these past 3 years?" Because you love me?" "Yes, because I love you like my own daughter. But love doesn't mean giving someone everything they want. Sometimes love means letting them learn important lessons. I have learned, I promise I have." "What have you learned?" Amara thought for a moment. "I learned that money is important, and I shouldn't waste it." Taye shook his head sadly. "That's not the real lesson, Amara." "Then what is the lesson?" "The lesson is about gratitude, respect, and understanding sacrifice. For 3 years, I worked extra hours so you could have spending money. I lived in a small room so you could have a nice one. I ate simple food so you could eat well. I gave up my dreams of starting a business so you could follow your dreams of education." Amara's tears began to fall as she realized the full extent of what Taye had done for her. "I never asked you to thank me," Taye continued. "But I also never expected you to take my sacrifices for granted, or to treat my care as control, or to claim that my hard-earned money was yours by right. I'm sorry, brother. I'm so sorry. I didn't understand." "I know you didn't understand. That's why you needed to experience life without these things. That's why you needed to feel what it's like to be truly independent. But I don't want to be independent from you. I want to be your sister again." Taye smiled for the first time since their conversation began. "You will always be my sister, Amara, but being my sister means respecting the sacrifices I make for you, not taking them for granted." "I will, I promise." Actions speak louder than promises. Show me that you've truly learned by how you live your life going forward. Taye stood up to leave. "I have to go to my meeting now." "Wait, what about my card?" "And my phone?" "Get a part-time job, Amara. Learn what it feels like to earn money through your own hard work. When you can show me that you truly understand the value of what you receive, then we can talk about the future." As Taye walked away, Amara sat in the lobby crying, not just from sadness, but from shame. For the first time, she truly understood how selfish and ungrateful she had been. The wise ones say, the hand that feeds you deserves respect, not bite. Over the next month, Amara's life changed completely. She found a part-time job at a small restaurant near the university, working evenings and weekends. The work was hard. She had to serve customers, clean tables, and wash dishes. Her hands became rough, and her feet ached from standing all day. Her first paycheck was 25,000 naira for the whole month, barely enough to cover her basic needs. After buying food, transportation, and school supplies, she had almost nothing left for entertainment or nice clothes. "Now, I understand," she whispered to herself as she counted her small salary. This is how hard Brother Taye has been working to give me 20,000 naira every month, plus all the other expenses. For the first time in her life, Amara had to make difficult choices about money. Should she buy a new notebook for school or save the money for food? Should she take the bus or walk to save money for next week? Her friends Jide and Kemi stopped inviting her to expensive places. When she couldn't afford to join their outings, they gradually stopped calling her altogether. Amara realized that they had never been true friends. They had only enjoyed her company when she could spend money like them. But something wonderful happened during this difficult time. Amara began to make new friends, students who worked part-time jobs like her, who understood the value of money and the dignity of honest work. She discovered that she could have fun without spending lots of money. She learned to cook simple meals, to appreciate small pleasures, and to find joy in things that didn't cost anything. Most importantly, she began to think about Taye every day. Every time her back ached from work, she thought about how Taye had been doing this for years to support her. Every time she had to choose between buying something she wanted and something she needed, she thought about all the sacrifices he had made without complaining. One evening, after a particularly hard day at work, Amara sat in her dormitory room and wrote a letter by hand. Dear Brother Taye, it has been a month since we last spoke. I want you to know that I think about you every day, and I am filled with shame for how I treated you. I have been working at a restaurant to earn money for my basic needs. The work is hard, and the pay is small, but it has taught me something very important. I now understand how much you sacrificed for me. For 3 years, you gave me money equal to your whole salary, and I spent it without thinking. You worked extra hours so I could live comfortably, and I complained that you were controlling me. You treated me like a daughter, and I threw your love back in your face. I know now that saying sorry is not enough. I need to show you, through my actions, that I have truly changed. I am still working and studying hard. My grades have actually improved because I have fewer distractions and more focus on what really matters. I have learned to live simply and to appreciate everything I have. I don't expect you to forgive me immediately. I don't expect you to give me money again. I just want you to know that I finally understand what it means to be grateful, and I will never again take anyone's kindness for granted. I love you, brother, and I hope that someday I can make you proud of me again. Your sister, Amara. She walked to Taye's apartment that evening and slipped the letter under his door. Then she walked back to her dormitory. A long walk, but she had learned to save money on transportation. 3 days later, Amara was surprised to see Taye waiting outside the restaurant where she worked. Brother, she called out, her heart racing with hope and fear. Hello, Amara. I got your letter. Did you read it? Yes, I read it, and I've been watching you for the past month. Amara looked confused. Watching me? I asked some friends to quietly check on you. I heard about your job, your hard work, your improved grades. I heard that you stopped spending money on unnecessary things and that you've been walking instead of taking buses. Amara felt embarrassed. You were checking on me? I never stopped caring about you, Amara. I just wanted you to learn an important lesson about life. Have I learned it? Taye smiled, the first real smile Amara had seen from him in months. What do you think? What have you learned? I've learned that money doesn't grow on trees. I've learned that working is hard and tiring. I've learned that everything you gave me came from your sweat and sacrifice. She paused, tears forming in her eyes. But most importantly, I've learned that love isn't about what someone gives you. It's about understanding and appreciating their sacrifice. And I've learned that true friends don't abandon you when you have no money to spend. I've learned to be happy with simple things. I've learned that my character and my education are more important than expensive clothes. Taye nodded approvingly. Those are very important lessons. Brother, can you ever forgive me for being so ungrateful and disrespectful? Amara, I forgave you the moment you walked away from me that day in your dormitory. I was never punishing you out of anger. I was teaching you out of love. Amara began to cry with relief and joy. Does this mean? It means we can start over, but things will be different now. You will continue working part-time to earn your own spending money. This will help you remember the value of money and work. I will continue to pay for your school fees and basic living expenses because education is important and I made a promise to take care of you. Yes, brother, I agree completely. And Amara, yes? If you ever again take my sacrifices for granted, or treat my care as control, or forget the lessons you've learned this month, then you truly will be on your own. Do you understand? I understand, and it will never happen again. I promise you, with all my heart. Taye opened his arms, and Amara ran into them for the first hug they had shared in months. Welcome home, little sister, he said. Thank you for never giving up on me, brother, she replied. And so the people learned that day. True love sometimes requires tough lessons. Gratitude must be earned through understanding, and the hand that feeds you should never be forgotten or bitten. The end? Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next one.